Give me a few more seconds. You can let everyone in. Hi everyone, welcome back to math class. Um, Before we start with a video, I'd like you guys to work through some review problems so that we're familiar with the concepts we're going to be tackling today. So I see some people have their cameras on. At least one person had their camera on. So if you have a camera and can turn it on, I'd very much appreciate that. Um, Uh, okay, so do I have any volunteers who'd like to solve the first equation, please? Garrus, would you like to try solving p minus 14 equals 27?
Oh,
So what would be our first step? Garrus?
I think it's take the 14.
Right, so we tackle negative 14. We s- so remember, when we solve an algebraic equation, when we solve an equation, we want to isolate
Gotta ba isolate the P.
exactly. So how do we isolate the p?
We put the 14 over here.
Are you drawing, Garrus?
Oh, wait. Oh, I think it's minus 14.
Okay, so what is negative 14 minus 14? And Ziran, this is a negative sign, not a positive sign.
Oh, wait, let me just.
So remember, Garrus,
That.
whenever you see
I did it
a
already.
negative, whenever you see a negative sign, you want to do the opposite. So what's the opposite of subtraction? Addition, exactly. So you add a 14 on the left side, and what about the right side? So exactly, you add a 14 on the right side. So
Back
what's on the
to
left
it.
side? We just get p on the left side, and then what's on the right side? So what's 27 plus 14?
Oh, 27 plus 14 is 41.
41. Awesome. And I see Jiran, you changed your answer, so that's good. Uh okay. Jare, would you like to try out p minus 14 equals 27? Would you like to test that out? Just to verify the answer is correct.
So I just need to change the my name first.
Could you repeat that again? Oh, Ryan. Would you like to check that p equals 41 is the correct answer by substituting back into our original equation?
So if you be like that, 41 minus 14 equals 27.
Mm-hmm. Can you also change it to a different color, please, Ryan? It's a little bit hard to see. I mean, I can see the 41, but uh, yeah, okay, that might work a bit better. Okay, so 41 minus 14. If we want 11 minus 4 is 7, 3 minus 1 is 2, so we do get 41 minus 14 is 27. So we know that P equals 41 is the correct answer. Thank you, Garrus and Ryan. Garrus, would you mind erasing the positive 14s? Actually, you can leave it on. Do I have any volunteers who would like to try 11 equals n plus 2? Jason, would you like to give this question a try?
Hello.
Hey, Jason.
11 minus 2
Okay, so why would I want to subtract the 2? Why don't I do anything else?
because n plus 2 equals 11, no? So basically we do the opposite. 11 minus 2 equals 9.
Exactly. So we see there's a positive 2, and because we want to isolate an n, we need to get rid of that positive 2 somehow, right? So we need to subtract the 2 on the right side, and then, we subtract something on the right side, we have to subtract something on the left side to balance it out. So over here, we need to subtract another 2. So on the right side, we get n, and on the left side is 11 minus 2. And I think Ziran put in the chat that n is equal to 9. Okay. Let's see. Lucas Richardson, are you able to talk, or can you just type in the chat? Okay, Jason, can you verify for me that 9 is the correct answer?
What?
Can you verify for me that 9 is the correct answer? So 9 plus 2.
Yes, 9 is the correct answer.
Okay, so 9 plus 2 is 11, so we know that 9 is the correct answer. Okay, so we can solve one-step equations. Let's try doing some distribution problems. So,
Okay. So we do the brackets first.
right, um that's not what we're trying to do here, Jason. So over here, I think you might have missed the distribution class, but you
Oh,
see
you mean
we don't have any values for x, right? And when we want to distribute it, we do something what I
yeah,
think
we
one of
use
my math
3
teachers
times it's 3, the x equals 3, and then the 5 is 15.
well, we do something one of my math teachers like to use what's called like, shooting Angry Birds, where basically you have like
No shooting
a
Angry
slingshot,
Birds.
a slingshot out of 3. Oh, okay.
Okay, so basically
Okay, I think
no
someone
shooting Angry
signed in.
Birds.
Okay, so basically you have the slingshot, out of the 3, and then you
Yes.
shoot an Angry Bird at the x, so that's 3
Oh,
times x, right? So what's 3 times x, Jason?
3 times x is 3.
3 times x. Okay, it's like 3 times. Let's say we replace x with an apples. What's 3 times apples? It's 3 apples, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if we switch the apples back with an x, so what is 3 times x? It's 3x.
3x. Yeah, I
Yes.
forgot.
So we shoot the first Angry Bird. The 3 hits the x, so it's 3x. And then we shoot
Yeah.
the second Angry Bird. 3 hits the 5.
So wait,
So
so
what's
I thought you said no shooting Angry Birds.
I said we are shooting Angry Birds. So
Oh, yay.
assume you have the slingshot at the 3. You shoot an Angry Bird
Oh,
at the
so
x.
is it 3 times is it 3x plus 3 times 5? And then it's
Exactly. So
3
it's 3
times.
times x plus 3 times 5. So what is
So
3
we're
times 5?
basically shooting Angry Birds at 2 towers, but a number.
Yes. So each variable or number is a tower, and you're shooting an Angry Bird at each tower. So we have the 3x done. And then what about the second Angry Bird? What's 3 times 5, Jason?
What?
What's 3 times 5?
3 times 5 is 15.
Is 15. So we can simplify 3x plus 3 times x plus 5 is 3x plus 15. So this is the
It's
expanded
80.
form.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's try this one. This time the slingshot is at 4.
Wait, me?
Oh, okay, I'll let someone else try it. Garrus, would you like to, shoot some Angry Birds with the 4 times 5 minus y? Or in other words, try distributing this. So, uh, can you draw on the screen, Garrus? What's the first thing you want to connect? Or where's the first Angry Bird gonna hit if we start at 4?
Wait, what am going? Oh, here it is.
So we start at the 4, and we go wee crash. So this would be 4 times 5, right? So what's 4 times 5?
4 times 5 is 20.
4 times 5 is 20. Awesome. And then we shoot the second Angry Bird. Where do we shoot it at?
The Y.
The Y. Okay, so we shoot the 4 at the Y. So we boom. And notice there's a negative sign in front, okay? Whenever you see a negative sign, you got to pay a special attention. So if we have 4 times negative y, what's that equal to, Garrus?
Okay, 4 times negative Y.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Are you not too sure? Because I know we haven't really tackled negatives yet.
not too sure.
Not too sure. For now, I'm just gonna give you the answer. But 4 times negative y is just negative 4y. Okay,
Oh,
it's actually that simple. There's nothing too fancy with it. Okay, since I think I kind of did some of that for you, I'll give you another one, but it's gonna be slightly longer. Let's try see if I can again change some of this text. Okay, I'll copy this. Actually, okay, I'm gonna throw another practice problem down here. Let's try this. Garrus, do you mind erasing some of the things you drew on the screen, please? Okay, thank you. Let's try 7 times 3 plus x minus y. How would you distribute this? So remember, put
So
the
first
slingshot,
pick the Angry Bird.
right? So we put this slingshot over here. And what's the first tower you're going to try and hit?
3.
3. So what's 7 times 3?
Wait, let me just count.
10.
It's 7 times 3. Remember, we're not adding here.
Oh, so it's 21.
Yeah,
It's 21.
and that's 21.
Okay, so that's the first Angry Bird. What about the second Angry Bird? We're going to shoot the second Angry Bird. And where does it hit?
X.
X. So what's 7 times x? It's just 7x.
7x.
Exactly. Okay,
And then
can you draw the third Angry Bird trajectory?
Arthur.
So what's the third Angry Bird trajectory, Garrus? There we go. So it's a 7 times what? Times
Y. Minus
not just
y.
y, it's negative y. Remember? There's
So
a negative
negative
sign.
7y.
Right, so it's times negative y. So what's 7 times negative y?
Negative 7y.
Negative 7y. Awesome. So by shooting Angry Birds, we got all 3 of these variables out of the brackets. And you see in this expression, there are no brackets at all, right? We completely remove the brackets. So that's kind of the beauty of shooting Angry Birds to do distribution. Would Ryan, would you want to try an example? I can make it slightly harder. I'll add a 4th variable if you want.
All right.
Okay, let's try something even harder. Give me a second here. So instead of this, let's try 11. Oops, 11 times 9. Oops, 9 plus 2x plus 3y minus 4z. Okay, let's try this. Ryan, would you like to distribute this?
Yep. So you just do 11 times 9, which is 99.
Mm-hmm.
11 times 2x, it's positive to the 22x.
Mm-hmm.
11 times 3y, which is positive 33y.
Mm-hmm.
11 times, wait, 11 times negative 4z, which is negative 44z.
Mm-hmm. And
And
then
that's
can you simplify it anymore?
I don't think you, wait.
No, I don't think you can because this is a constant, right? 99 is a constant. X is a variable, Y is another variable, and Z is another variable. So this is about as simple as we can get if, we're not provided any variables. So good job, Ryan. I think we're all right with the warm up. Do you guys need any help with any of these distribution problems? Because I think
Nope.
this is
No.
probably one of the harder parts we're gonna have to get to today. Okay. In the meantime, I'll just throw this Kahoot link in here. So if you guys want to sign up real quick, that you guys can do that.
Do we have to play now?
No, we're not playing it now. I'm actually planning to watch a video first. I just need to get it set up.
Okay. Wait. I need to grab my.
Okay, so as for the video, this is the introduction to two-step equations, okay? So
It's
begin
6:15.
please. That way you'll be able to learn this lesson with less difficulty, I suppose.
Now we've mixed up things a little bit more. On the left side of the scale, not
You guys
only
all
do
hear
we
this?
have these identical unknown masses with mass x, these three blue things, we also have some of the 1 kilogram masses over here. We actually have 2 of them. So now we're going to try to figure out what x is. But before we even do that, what I want you to think about is a mathematical equation that can represent what is going on right here, that equates what we have on the left hand here to what we have on the right side of the scale right over there. And I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. So let's think about what we have on the left side here. We have 3 masses with mass x. So you could say that we have 3x over here. We have 3 x's. And then we have 2 masses of 1 kilogram. So in total, we have 2 kilograms, so plus 2. So one way to think about it, the total mass on the left-hand side is 3x plus 2. 3 masses with mass x plus 2 kilograms. That's what we have on the left-hand side. Now let's think about what we have on the right-hand side. We just have to count these. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 blocks each have a mass of 1 kilogram. So the total mass right over here is going to be 14 kilograms. So we get, and we see that the scale is balanced. It's not tilting down or upwards. So the scale is balanced. So this mass, this total mass right over here, must be equal to this total mass. The scale is balanced. So we can write an equal sign. Let me do that in that white color. I don't like that brown. We can do it in that white color. Now, what I want you to think about, and you can think about it either through the symbols or think about it through the scale, is how would you go about, well, let's think about a few things. How would you first go about at least getting rid of these little 1 kilogram blocks over here? And I'll give you a second to think about that. Well, the simplest thing is, well, you could take these 1 kilogram blocks off of the left-hand side. But remember, if you just took these 1 kilogram blocks off the left-hand side, and it was balanced before, now the left-hand side will be lighter and it'll move up. But we want to keep it balanced so that we can keep saying equal, that this mass is equal to that mass. So if we're going to remove 2 blocks from the left-hand side, we need to remove 2 blocks from the right-hand side. So we can remove 2 there, and then we can remove 2 right over there. And mathematically, what we're essentially doing is we're subtracting 2 kilograms from each side. So we're subtracting 2 from this side. So on the left-hand side, we now have 3x plus 2 minus 2. We're just left with 3x. We're just left with 3x. And on the right-hand side, we had 14, and we took away 2. Let me write this. We took away 2, so we're going to be left with 12. We're going to be left with 12 blocks. And you see that there. The ones that I haven't crossed out, there's 12 left. And here you only have 3 of those x blocks. And since we removed the exact same amount from both sides, our scale is still balanced. And our equation, 3x, is now equal to 12. And now this turns into a problem very similar to what we saw in the last video. So I will ask you, what can we do to isolate 1x, to only have 1x on the scale while keeping the scale, or 1x on the left-hand side of the scale, while keeping the scale balanced? So the easiest way to think about it is, if I want 1x on this left-hand side, that's 1/3 of the total x's here. So what if I were to essentially multiply the left-hand side by 1/3? But if I want to keep the scale balanced, I have to multiply the right-hand side by 1/3. And so if we can do that mathematically, so right over here, I can multiply the left-hand side by 1/3. But if I want to keep my scale balanced, I also have to keep the right-hand side. I have to multiply the right-hand side by 1/3. And multiplying it physically, that literally means just keeping 1/3 of what we had here originally. So we would get rid of 2 of these. And if we want to keep 1/3 of what we had here originally, there are 12 blocks left over after removing those first 2. So 1/3 of 12, we're only going to keep 4 boxes, 4 of these little 1 kilogram boxes left. So let me remove all but 4. So we're going to move those and remove those. I have left 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And so what you're left with, the only thing you have left is this x. This x, I'll shade it in to show this is the one that we actually have left. And then we have these boxes. We have these 1 kilogram boxes. And you see it mathematically right over here, 1/3 times 3x. Or you could have said 3x divided by 3. Either way, that gives us, you could say that these 3's cancel out. That'll give you just an x. And then on the right-hand side, 12 times 1/3, which is the same thing as 12 divided by 3, is equal to 4. And since we did the same thing to both sides, the scale is still balanced. And so you see that the mass of this thing must be the same thing as the mass of these 4 leftover blocks. X must be equal to 4 kilograms.
Okay, so that was the introduction to how we solve two-step equations. Over here, you might notice we actually have a very similar looking scale. Slightly different, but it's pretty much the same. You'll see that there are two X blocks on the left with 1 kilogram boxes, and then I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 1 kilogram boxes on the right. So do I have any volunteers who'd like to work out what X could be equal to, or try and write out the equation first? Right? Would you like to write out the equation?
Can I say
Could I do?
it's
Oh, okay,
3?
I'll let Ryan go.
1x is 3.
I'll let Ryan go first. So how would you write out the equation if I gave you this picture?
So
So what
2
would be in the screen?
x
2x, right?
3 equals 9.
Equals 9. Good. And then what can I do to this picture? Like, what do I need to get rid of to isolate the x?
So
I
just
just want the
find
x.
from each side minus 3.
Mm-hmm. So
Or-
that would mean, what
or
would that
may-
mean on the picture? Like, what would I have to do?
Or there maybe might be another way to do it, which is just bring this 3 to the other side,
Mm-hmm.
turn it the other way, delete
Right.
this 3 and minus 3.
Mm-hmm.
So this is 6. 2x equals
Equals
6.
6. And then,
And then you just, because it's 2x, you just divide 2x by 2,
mm-hmm.
which is only,
X, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And divide 6 also by 2, which is 3.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So that was how you would do it mathematically, right? You subtract 3 and then you divide by 2. But on a graph, it's actually pretty much the same. So over here, if let's say you have an actual scale like in front of you and you want to find out how much x weighs, then Ryan Lynn, would you like to try tackling this like picture wise? So we already know that x equals 3, but just to verify it like with the pictures, we can, first of all, try isolating for x. How would I isolate for x, Ryan Lynn? Well, in this case, we want to get rid of the 3 pesky ones on the left side, right? So if I get rid of this one, 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 the scale is not going to be balanced because the right side is going to be heavier. So to make it balanced, I'm going to need to get rid of 3 ones on this side as well, right? So in the end, we're going to be left with 2x equals 6. And that's very nice and all, but I only want 1x, right? So if I want to get only 1x, I need to divide both sides by 2. So what's 2x divided by 2, Ryan? Ryan Lynn? Any volunteers? So 2x divided by 2.
2x divided by 2.
Mm-hmm. Is?
What? Wait, 2x divided by 2. Isn't that 1?
It's x, not 1. So
Oh, yeah.
just
Because
remember, when we're
yeah,
dealing with variables, if I divide by some number, if you don't know what the variable is, you don't touch the variable. Okay? So if I do 2x divided by 2, the 2's cancel and the x isn't touched.
yeah, now I realize that.
Right. So 2x divided by 2, if I, cut it in half, then this side oops. I don't know why that
And it
happened.
just becomes x.
Exactly. So this side just becomes x, and this side was 6, right? This side was 6. So what's 6 divided by 2?
Divided by 2.
Mm-hmm.
6 divided by 2 is 3.
6 divided by 2 is 3. So in the end, the equation simply becomes x equals 3. So This is kind of, how you actually would balance an equation out in real life, right? It's not some abstract thing with just numbers. If you had a scale and some unknown masses, you could use algebra to solve it out. Okay. So any volunteers who'd like to read this? Nicole, maybe would like to read the the, the light bulb box over here.
A two-step equation has two different operations. To solve a two-step equation, undo the operations in reverse order of the order of operations.
Okay, thank you. So if you look at the equations we've been doing before now, I know they're kind of messy, but most of them they only have like one operation, right? There's only like one subtraction or one addition or one multiplication or one division. There's nothing really special. You just have to do one step and it's done. But for now, right now, we're going to be tackling two-step equations. And when you get into higher levels of math, there's even more step equations that aren't so easily solvable. And the key thing to remember in solving equations is that if you see, for example, any operation, if you want to get rid of it, you have to find its inverse, right? So if you remember, Ryan, what's the opposite of addition? So if I added a 4, how do I get rid of the positive 4?
So just carry it to the end of the right side of the equal sign.
So
And-
I'm not talking about this equation now. So if I had a positive 4, how would I get rid of it?
Just -4.
It's -4. If I had something multiplied by 4, how would I get rid of that?
Divided by 4.
Divided by 4. And same thing, if I divided something by 4, you'd need to multiply by 4 to get rid of it, right? The same thing applies with any other operations you can do to something. If let's say you put, I don't know, a carrot. Okay, how will let's do something like this. You have some water and then you boil the water, right? The water becomes steam. Let's say you have some water and then you add heat. So you add heat, you set it on fire somehow, and then it turns into steam. How do you get that steam back into water? You need to get rid of the heat, right? You need to get rid of the heat for the steam to turn back into water. That's like the opposite operation. I don't know if that makes any sense. Or if let's say, it's starting to get cold. So your water is now starting to turn into ice, presumably. So if water turns into ice, that's because it's melting. Well, it's not melting, it's freezing. So which means it's losing heat energy.
How do you freeze the item when it's steaming?
This is water.
I mean, how do you make
you
it?
can,
Yeah.
do you wonder
You can
how?
only
Do you wonder?
but you have to put fire to make it steam. You can't put fire and make it ice.
It's not water. This is water, okay? So
Yeah.
if you have water, if the water loses enough heat, it'll turn into ice, right? So if you lose enough heat, it turns into ice. But if you add enough heat back, it'll turn back into water. This is it's kind of that's kind of the the reasoning behind algebra, and like solving equations. If you do one operation to something, you need to do the opposite operation to get it back to its original form. I don't think that applies to everything, but for algebra at least, that works for a lot of stuff. Do you mind if you guys clear the screen for now? Or else I'm gonna remove drawing privileges. Thank you. Okay, so Ryan, would you like to try this first equation, please? So 2x plus 4 equals 10. What will be our first step?
My
Well, actually, how do we know this is a two-step equation? Is it
Because-
possible to solve it in one step?
No, because the 2x, which
Mhm.
represent for 2 times x,
Mhm.
is a one step, and plus
Mhm.
4 is also another step.
Exactly. So we have a multiplication. There's a multiplication involved, and there's an addition involved. So because multiplication came first and then addition came last. how do we get rid of the addition?
It's 6:30.
Okay, I see you use subtraction to get rid of the added 4. So if you subtract from both sides, you get what? 2x equals 10. Oh, equals 6. Equals 6. So after, because 2x is still being multiplied, right? So you need to divide each side by 2 to get 3, right? Okay, you didn't need to do the 2 divided by 6 equals 3 because we should all know our times tables by now. But yeah, so 2x is equal to 6. And if you divide both sides by 2, you can Ryan, it's usually it's more standard to put the division bar under the 2x, okay? Instead of doing the dot
You
line.
mean by fraction?
Pardon?
You mean by fraction?
Yes, I mean by it's more acceptable to use fractions instead of the division sign. You almost never see the division sign or the multiplication sign when you're into high school. Those aren't very common. So at this point, we should have, what was the answer to the first question? X equals 2.
No,
Can you verify, please?
I mean, I just write the other answer for the other question.
Okay. Can we finish the first question first?
X equals 3.
X equals 3 now? So someone put x equals 2.
Okay. I just wrote for the other question.
Okay, well, can we finish this one first, though?
So just X equals 3.
X equals 3. So why is x equals 3 the answer?
Because if you just substitute 2 times 3 equals 6, 6 plus 4 equals 10, which is exactly
So 10 equals 10. So we know that 3 is the correct answer. Thank you. Nicole, would you like to try? Ryan, can you please not scribble so fast and give away all the answers on the screen, please? Thank you. Nicole, would you like to try 41 equals 12d minus 7, please? So first, how do you know this is a two-step equation? Any ideas?
Because it has 2 operations.
Exactly. Can you see which 2 operations they are?
12 and 7.
Remember, an operation is something like addition. Oops. It's usually something like addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Okay, I think those are the operations we currently know. Ryan, can you please stop putting question marks on the screen? So if you look on the screen, the 12d, that's the same as 12 times d, right? Do you know that, Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 12d is 12 times d, which means we know that multiplication is being used. What's the other sign you see on the screen?
Minus 7.
Minus 7. So minus 7, is that addition, division, subtraction, or another multiplication? Nicole? So the minus 7, what operation is being used?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. And we don't, to get rid of the minus 7, what do we need to do?
Add
Well,
7.
we need to add 7. So if we add 7 on this side, can we just go like, haha, we're just gonna add 7, the end. Is that what we're gonna?
We have to do 41 plus 7.
Exactly, we need to add 7 on both sides. So can you tell me what is the result on the left side first? So 41 plus 7?
Oh, 41 plus 7 is 48.
48, and what's on the right side?
12d.
Exactly, these two cancel out, we get 12d. Now, I think you should know how to solve this, but how do we get rid of the 12 in front of the 12d? So what operation do we need to use?
Divide.
We
Division.
need to divide. So we divide by, can you read that again, please? Divide by,
Uh, Div-
Divide by 12? Is that what you said?
no. I
Uh,
don't know.
Pardon?
Wait, do we divide by 12?
It is divided by 12 because remember, 12d is the same thing as 12 times d, right? So if we want to get rid of the times 12, then you need to divide by 12. Um, does does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because so okay, let's do something else. Let's say instead of d, I know variables, they're very abstract, which is why I've actually had some trouble understanding this myself. So uh, let's try 6 times 7. 6 times 7, what's 6 times 7, Nicole? Can you tell me what 6 times 7 is?
Wait, 1 second.
42. Thank you. So 42, I want to somehow use magic and bring it back into a 6. Okay? So I need to do something to bring it back into a 6. What do I need to do to it? So at first I had a 6,
Divide
divide
7.
by 7. So remember, at the beginning I had a 6, I did some multiply by 7 magic, and boom, it's now a 42. Okay? And now if you gave me a 42, I do some boom, divide by 7 magic, and then it's a 6 again. So this is kind of what these operations are like, where you have your first thing, you multiply, and then to get rid of that multiply, you have to divide to get your original value again, right? So now instead of a 6, we're gonna go back up and replace it with a d, okay? So or with a 12. So before it was 12 times d is 48. And to get rid of the times 12, you said you wanted to divide by 12, right? Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you divide by 12 on the right side, is that it? Did you just do 12 divided by 12 is d, so d equals 48? Does that work?
No.
Why not? It looks perfectly fine. Well, what's wrong?
Because on the other side, we have to divide
Ah,
12.
exactly. So whenever you do something to one side, you got to do it to the other. So what's 48 divided by 12?
4.
4. So what is the final answer?
4.
That's actually not complete because we had a variable, right? And when you're
Oh,
done solving the equation,
X on the left. Wait, no. 4 on the left and D on the other side.
okay,
think.
so we have 4 equals, usually we have the variable on the left, right? So if we switch these two around, we get d equals 4. So d equals 4 is the solution here. Okay, so if you wrote all this stuff out, it looks ridiculously ugly, but if you somehow made it prettier and put it on a test, then your final equation, your final answer to the teacher should just be d equals 4. I know some picky teachers, if you just go, oh, 4 is the answer, teacher, the teacher's gonna go like, you have to say d is equal to 4, okay? Because they're asking you to solve for the variable, and just saying a 4 doesn't work out. I know it may not make sense to you right now, but in the future this comes in useful, okay? Just bear with me. So Nicole, but before I let you leave, I know I've kept you a bit long. Can you check for me that 41 equals 12d minus 7? Can you check that 4 is the correct answer to solving this equation? So
Correct.
so by that I mean we plug 4 into d. So
Wait, do I write it? Do I write it?
sure, you can write it on the whiteboard. I'll clear some of this stuff out.
Wait, like, like, we can do like any method we want, right? Like the left and right check.
So by verifying, what I would mean is you rewrite the equation, right? So you'd have 41 equals 12, but instead of writing d, you put a 4 instead.
Am I allowed to do the left and right check?
What left to right thing?
It's like where you do that and then you do left side, right side. Because then on the left side it's 41,
Mhm.
and then the right side
It's
is 12 brackets 4
Mhm.
minus 7, and then we just solve it.
Exactly. You can do it that way if you want, or you can just write it out as an equation, right? Like how I'm doing right now. You can just write it as 41 equals 12 times 4 minus 7. So what's 12 times 4?
4. No, 48.
48. 48 minus 7 is
What?
48 minus 7.
41.
41. So we see that 41 is equal to 41. This is good. We got that covered. Do any of you guys have any trouble? Lucas Richardson, I think you're new. Do you want to try this one? 3x plus 1 equals 7? Okay. I don't think Lucas Richardson is able to unmute. So, before we move on, the next few questions are going to be slightly harder. Are you guys all pretty confident on your abilities to solve two-step equations? Yes? Okay, well, let's move on since I think we are a little bit short on time. Okay, I think Jason and Duran, you guys have been I think hot on your seats with how easy these questions are. So I'm gonna skip to the end and give you this one. 5w plus
Wait, so what
9.2.
does it mean by not on our seats?
Oh, just kind of like with just kind of typing around in the chat and being all jumpy, I guess. But since you're muted, Jason, I'd like to try. I'd
Me?
like you to try and solve this equation. 5w plus 9.2 equals 19.7. What would be
5w
your first
plus
step?
9.2.
So what would be your first step, Jason?
19.7 minus 9.2.
Okay, so we subtract 9.2 on both sides. And what do we get on the left side?
Wait, what?
What do we get on the left side? What do we get over here?
This left or right?
Can
That's 0.
0. Okay, this is 0. And what about the right side?
That side is 10.5.
10.5. Wow, how interesting. 0 is now equal to 10.5. Do you guys think that's true? 0 is
No.
equal to 10.5?
No.
What went wrong?
I put wait, so basically 9.5. The 9.5. Not, why am I seeing this wrong? 9.92. We don't stay. We just stay there.
So what do you mean we just stay there? Well, what happened to the 5w, Jason?
5w. We basically. I don't know how.
We didn't touch it, right?
Yeah.
The 5w is not touched. So this
We
side would
have
be
to do it.
5w
5w is
plus
the
0, or
uh-huh.
5w equals 10.5.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying. Yeah,
Yes, that's where we went wrong.
that's why I was trying to tell you that the 9.2 we just didn't it's nothing right now, and
Exactly, it cancels
basically
out.
10.5, and then we, how do I say it?
Yeah, it cancels out.
Oh, the n- the 5w is 19.7 minus 9.2,
Exactly.
so that means 5w equals 10.5. Am I explaining it correctly?
Yes, I think you got the point correctly now.
I have
So
no idea how to explain.
yeah, I know this question with the decimals it starts getting a bit messy.
Decimals is okay by me.
It's okay. I think it's
It's
better
very
than
hard to explain. That's it.
right. So I think we brought this two-step equation down to a one-step equation. Can you bring us home, Jason? What is W?
What?
So how do we simplify this equation so we only
We
have W?
divide
Divide by what?
2. I mean
2.
5. 5, 5,
Oh,
5,
divide
5.
by 5. Divide by 5. Okay.
Because
So
I was thinking about the answer. The answer is 2.1.
2.1.
Because look,
Okay.
because if you do it,
Mm-hmm.
look. So basically, when 5 divided by 10
It's
is
6:45.
2, yes, and
and
0.5.
then you have a 5 left.
Mhm.
Basically, we add an extra 0 if you're trying to get a decimal.
Mhm.
So 50. Now it's like 5, right? So
Mhm.
it's like a 5. We just put a 5 there. It's like
Mhm.
imaginary 0 there because we
Yes.
don't need to because 0 5 times 0 is nothing. So it's only like 2.1.
Okay, I guess that explanation works too. But for those of you who didn't quite follow or aren't too sure,
I don't even
you
know how
can
to explain that.
you can do it the long division way too, right? So
No long division. No, nope, nah.
well that it does get a bit nasty, but 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10, so that's that. And then the decimal point was here. We can bring it up to here too, right? And then we have 0.5 divided by 5.
You can do it easier if you see 5, like
Mhm.
105 could easily go inside 5 because there's 5 on the
Well,
back,
5
right?
goes into 105, right? And then you shift the
It's
decimal
very
point over.
easy. If you know it, all
If
you
you know
know
it,
is like
yes.
50 is 10. Then you
Mhm.
add another 50 is 100, and then just 5 left, which is the 5,
Which
right?
is
So it's
right. So
1.
it's
So it's 21,
21,
right?
but then you shift the
But you
decimal.
have to add the decimal. Where the decimal is, you have to add it because 5 can't go into 1. It has
Mhm.
to, and a 0, and then the 2 goes into the zeros. And in the decimal, you place where the decimal is, and then the 1 is where the decimal behind the decimal.
Exactly. But for other problems, if in case, let's say this was a 4 instead, let's say this was a 10.4, then you
Then you have
will need
to
to start having to do more
long
calculations.
division.
Yeah, you will have to do long division. And if you're not experienced with this stuff, if you don't see it right away, long division is the way to go. Just in case, you encounter one on a math test. Because I know some
All
teachers
I
they
say is math is easy, but it's very hard to explain.
right. The explaining part, I know if you write a math proof, it can take years. So Jason, can you check that 2.1 is the correct answer here? I'll get rid of some.
Yes, sir.
Uh, can you verify it? So what is 5 times 2.1?
5 times 2.1 is 10. Wait, 10.5.
10.5. 10.5 plus 9.2?
19.7.
19.7. So is 19.7 equal to 19.7?
Yes. And
Yes, sir.
19.7 times 1 is 19.7.
Okay, that wasn't very necessary, but sure. So we have 19 points. We have that W is equal
Can
to
we make it into
1.
a 0?
Pardon?
What, can we make it into a 0?
Can you make what into a 0?
Times
Times
0 is
0?
equal 0.
Ah, okay. Um, that that is that's a that's
I
something
mean,
that
I
you
mean,
usually don't.
after the question 5, after question 2.1,
Mm-hmm.
after the question when it's solved
After it's
19.7. If you
mm-hmm.
pretend we solve this, and then if you don't want to, I don't want the answer anymore. I'll just put point x0, so
Times
it'd be
0.
0 again.
Did you do that on the calculator a lot or something?
No,
No.
I learned that in grade 1. I
But
asked my teacher.
if you multiply everything by 0, you do get 0 is equal to 0.
Yeah,
But that does cause some problems. I don't really want to talk about that right now. But
but it does. 0 divided
just
by
don't
0,
divide by 0 and you'll be fine, okay? If you divide by 0, too
you
many
get
problems come
0.
with that. Too many problems.
0, if you divide by 0, it turns 0, doesn't it?
Um, you'll have to learn calculus. I'm not going to talk about that for now, okay? Um, so Jager, would you like to try the okay, I think we're a bit short on time. So let's actually work on this word problem here.
Well, I see any number times 0 is always 0, but if you 0 times 0, it'll be like
It's still a 0.
it could. I mean,
It still is 0.
if
Because
you put
nothing,
in
if you have
if
nothing,
you
nothings, it's still nothing, right?
nothing is still nothing. But what if the price is 0 times 0?
The price?
Yeah, wouldn't
Yeah,
it
if you
be
have
like
nothing, you still have nothing. That's
okay?
nothing, nothings. It's kind of like it's trivial actually. Um,
So everything with 0 is nothing.
yeah. Can we move on now, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay. Jager, I don't think I've had you do anything today, so I'll ask you to read this word problem. Can you do so, please?
Okay, a fitness club is having a special offer where you pay $22 to join plus a $16 monthly fee. You have $150 to spend. Write and solve an equation to find how many months you can use the fitness club.
Okay, this doesn't seem too bad actually. I mean, I know some other fitness clubs that definitely charge higher, but the first thing we want to do, if you read the question, it says write and solve an equation. The first part would be
Is
write.
this real or fake? Because I feel like it's a
It
scam.
could be real.
I feel like it's a
The
scam because
numbers are made up. The numbers are made up, but
oh
you
okay.
I'm pretty sure at one point a fitness club probably had something similar to this. I mean, I don't actually have $150 on me right now, but you know, you could have $150 on you and you might encounter a problem like this someday. But let's say this is happening to you right now. You want to work out and you have $150. And you know, you want to find out how many months you can actually use this fitness club for. So can someone help me write this equation? I have a bunch of numbers, a bunch of equations thrown around. How do I write it? Garrus or Jagger? Anyone? You guys help me find out how many months I can use this fitness club for? How much time I have to like lift weights and all that good stuff.
Or you would have to subtract 22 from 150 and then constantly subtract 16.
Constantly subtract 16. I like where you're going with that, Garrus, but I want to write an equation first. So how do I write this equation? I just have a bunch of numbers thrown out. Can you guys see the colors and stuff over here?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what to do. Like, what am I supposed to? Where am I supposed to throw them?
Yeah.
Lucas, I see you unmuted yourself.
I feel like if you put 22 plus 16,
Mm-hmm. So let's try that. 22 plus 16. Then what?
then you wait, just give me a moment.
No problem.
If you have $150 to spend, and it's a monthly $16 fee.
Can I help?
Would you want help,
Who
Lucas?
said that? Yes,
Jason?
please.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Okay.
basically, if you're 2020 to join first, you should do 150 minus 22 first.
So Jason, I want to write an
Okay.
equation here first. I'm pretty sure Garrus already had a pretty sick method to solve this, and I'm pretty sure you probably know how to solve it too. But I just want this equation written first.
Oh, we have to make an equation?
Yes, we have to write
do
the
you mean?
equation first.
Okay, there.
Isn't that
Yes, moolah, as he ran. Moolah.
but that takes so much money.
I only have the $150.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't spend any more. I mean, I'd be bankrupt then.
Happy.
Happy me. I'll be living with a barrel on the street. So where do I put the 150? Do I throw it
Equal
like
sign.
1,522 or like where? Where
The
do I
equal
put it here?
sign.
Equal
Yeah.
sign? And where do I put this X? 150X? Is this how it works?
Wait, no, 16x.
Why is it 16X? Not
Because
22X.
that's the equation.
Uh,
Because what times what? 16. So basically, not 22, and 22 plus 16 times whatever is 150.
okay, so we see if we look at the question, whoops. If we look at the question here, at the beginning you have 22. This is being at the beginning of 20, you have to pay $22, right? And then you have to pay 16, and then Gareth said you have to pay 16 again for the second month, for the third month, for the
Yeah,
fourth
that's
month,
what I was trying to
and so
say.
on,
But then
right?
you said we
But
can't.
all
But
of
you
that
said
has
we
to
can't
equal,
help.
all of that has to
that.
equal $150. You can't spend any more, you can't spend any less, right? So this is our equation. I think both Jason, Garrus, and Lucas, you guys all helped. So our equation is set out, and I think yeah, that's not an equation. There's no equal sign. But we have our equation, right? 22 plus 16x is equal to 150.
I was trying to say what Lucas Lucas was trying to say, but then you said we have to create a
Yeah,
equation.
we do need to create an equation.
So
And
16. So doesn't that mean 16? We just keep adding 16 until we're at near 150 or
until
exactly
exactly.
150.
But what if I change what if I change the value to like 1,500? What if I got
That's still the
super
same
rich all of a
thing.
sudden, right?
That's
Or
still the
what if
same.
I became a millionaire and got this much money, right? So
Okay. I don't think people.
writing an equation makes it so much easier. Okay.
Yeah.
That way, if my money all of a sudden changes, if I become broke all of a sudden and only have $15, then I can't
You'll
even
go
afford this.
bankrupt.
Yeah, I can't even afford this club. This is too expensive for me.
I mean, if it's like 1,000,000,005, if you had like a few $1 billion, but
then I probably wouldn't even need to go to this club. So we have our equation. Ryan Lin, or the other Ryan, if he's here, would someone like to solve this for me, please? Find x. So how many months can I actually go to this club for?
12.
12. Who said 12?
What?
So who said 12?
Me?
You? Okay, so why is 12 the answer? What do I have to do?
I mean, if you 22 minus 150,
Okay, so we can subtract 22 on both sides. And what do I
and
get?
then you
So what's on the left side? What's on the left side
what?
first? What's on the
0.
left side? 0.
16x.
16x. Okay, you're catching on. We have 16x.
Yeah.
We didn't touch that.
0 16x.
0 plus
0 plus
16x.
16x
Mm-hmm.
is still
And so
0.
still 16x.
And then the other one is 128, I suppose.
128. Okay. And if you play with powers of
And
2
you
or what?
keep subtracting 16 all the day.
Or you can just divide by 16,
I know.
right? So
Like
if you divide by 16, divide each side by
one.
16, what's
Mhm.
128 divided by 16?
It's 12.
Is it 12?
What?
Is 128 divided by 16 equal to 12?
No. So
I don't think so.
128 divided by 16 is 8.
It's 8, right? Because if you play with powers of 2 a lot, you should know that
Yeah, I think
it
it's
should be a power
a
of 2,
lot.
right? So you get x is equal to 8. Now, just to check, can we make sure I actually have 8 months to spend at this club? Or else,
Yeah.
I might.
Would you not spend all your money on the fitness club?
Let's just say this is my budget, okay? I have money to spend elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
I have food to eat. I have, I don't know, parties to go to. So
And you have health.
I only have $150 to spend at the gym. So
Okay,
we
that's
have
good.
x
That's
equals
good.
8. We have x equals 8. Can we check that x equals 8 is the solution?
Yes.
So 22 plus 16 times 8. Nicole, can you tell me what 16 times 8 is? Nicole? Okay, how about
Wait, 16 times 8?
mhm.
100. Wait, can I read it out?
Go ahead. Yeah, thanks.
Wait, never mind. I got it. 128.
128, awesome. So what is 22 plus 128? You can write it on the side if you want.
Yeah.
128, 22. 8 plus 2 is?
150.
Okay, so it's 150. So we have 150 is equal to 150. And is that true? Is this equation true? Does this statement make sense?
Me?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, true.
It's true. So we found out that I have 8 months to spend at this fitness club. Awesome. And you'll see, if you just you could go on without writing the equation, right? But if I gave you this problem again,
It's 7
and I was like,
o'clock.
oh, now I have $1,500 to spend, then you'd have to write it all out again, think it all out, and it's kind of hard to do. But over here, since you already have the equation written out, you can just easily plug everything in, right? You can just add an extra zero here and solve for everything again. But I think that's about it for today. Do you guys have any questions? We can get started with the Kahoot if you guys have joined in. So before we start, are there any questions?
No.
No? Lucas,
No.
are you fine? I'm pretty sure you're new, so welcome. Can we all get this started real quick, please? I think it's already a little bit past time. If you guys aren't gonna join, just tell me so we can start right away. And if you guys want to leave, you can definitely leave right now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, Jason. See ya. Okay, I don't think Ryan Lynn is gonna participate, so we might as well begin. Sorry, no sound. Okay, that's how we did that one. Okay, remember this one is 35 minus, I think it was 17, not add 17. It should make sense if you look at the tape measures. Awesome. Good. Okay, this one's a little bit difficult. Was that a guess? Don't rush this one. I think I have a minute on the clock. Oh, or 30 seconds, sorry. Was that also a guess, Lucas? I'm pretty sure Jason did this question during class, but remember it's a two-step equation, so you want to isolate the W first, right? That means you have to subtract the 9.2 on both sides, and I think you'll get 10.5 and divide by 5 to get 2.1. It's 4. Oh, well. I will. Okay. Decent guess, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the answer is 2. Because 12 times 12, that's 144. It's way too big. In case you didn't check. Lucas, do you need help with this one? You can unmute if you want. There's a minute on the clock.
No one's even playing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've all left or something.
Yeah, or eating probably.
Yeah, probably. So you'll want to substitute G and H in first, right? So what's 2 times 15?
2 times 15. 2 multiplied by 15 is 30.
30. 30 plus 7?
30 plus 7 is 37.
37 minus 12?
37 minus 12 is 25.
25. And 25 equals 5 times something. So what 5 times what is 25? Well, I think of 5 times 5 is 25, right? So F would be 25. There we go. Awesome. Well, the last one's actually pretty hard.
Oh.
Yeah, you need to simplify everything first. Actually, I'll simplify pretty nicely. Need help, Lucas?
Okay, this one's actually confusing.
Okay, so 7x minus 5x is what? It should be... So what's 7 minus 5?
7 minus 5 is 2.
2. So you have 2x, 5 minus 3
5 minus 3 is 2.
2. 3 minus 1
3 minus 1 is 2.
is 2. So you have 2x plus 2y plus 2z. You get x plus y plus z is 13. Okay?
Okay.
And I'll just give it to you, z is 5. Okay, well, okay, I'll write out the answer for this one. So you solve the first part, 7x minus 5x. That's just 2x, right? Lucas, do you mind staying unmuted just in case? Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And 5y minus 3y. You also got that. It's what? So 5y minus
Is
3y
2.
to what? It's 2 times
2y.
2y, and 3z minus z is
Z. That would be 2z.
2z. Awesome. And all of this is equal to 26, right?
Right.
And you see a 2 here, you see a 2 here, you see a 2 here. And you see a 2 here, actually. So you want to kind of get rid of... How would you get rid of the 2 here? They're all multiplied.
How would I get...
So you can... If they're all multiplied by 2, how do you get rid of multiplied by 2? Lucas?
Yeah, I'm here.
Pardon?
Here. I'm here.
Yeah, so how do you get rid of multiplied by 2?
How do you get rid of it?
So if... Well, what's the opposite of multiplication? It's division, exactly. So if you multiply something by 2, you to get rid of it, you would divide it by 2, right? So if you divide all this by 2, and you divide 26 by 2, let's do 26 divided by 2 first. What's 26 divided by 2? Lucas?
Yeah.
What's
26 divided by 2. 26 divided by 2 is 13.
13. Okay. And 2x divided by 2 is what? The 2's cancel. It's just x. 2y divided by 2 is y. And 2z divided by 2 is z. So in the end, you just get x plus y plus z is equal to 13, right?
Right.
And if you look at the question, you have x equals 4 and y equals 4. So you can plug these in to get y for 4 plus z equals 13. Okay? And
Right.
what's Z, Lucas?
See, so 4 plus 4 is 8.
8. So you get
And when
8.
you add,
Mm-hmm.
then you add, then if you add Z, you'll get 13.
Mm-hmm.
And since I know that 8 plus Z,
Mm-hmm.
or should I say 8 plus 5 is
8 plus 5 is 13. So Z is equal to
5. I
5.
wrote it down.
Awesome.
Oh,
So that is the answer. If you want to do this question over again, without my help, you can copy it down and see if it works out. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for staying over time,
This
Lucas.
stuff.
I know this might be your first class.
Yeah,
But
I know.
yeah, I'm glad you joined. Third place here. Okay.
Okay. Jason wasn't even doing anything.
Yeah, Albert Einstein, Jason. And
Bug.
okay, good job.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for coming, Lucas. See you next week.
See you next week.
Adios.
How do we?